Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Black-Green Stompy with Nether Void. This is a classic card from Legends, 32-year-old card, and it says, whenever a player casts a spell, counter it unless that player pays 3 extra mana. It's 3 colorless and 1 black to cast this enchantment, and it's important that it says counter it unless, because we are going to have spells that can't be countered. Thanks to Frenzied Baloth, our new friend from the new set, 2 green mana for a beast, 3/2. This spell can't be countered. Trample, haste, creature spells you control can't be countered. Combat damage can't be prevented. That last line is also very relevant against the One Ring. And essentially, we're just going to try to get Nether Void out, get Baloth out, and then be the only person that can cast spells. We've got Icetail Explorer, another new card that is essentially like a turbocharged Ramanop Excavator, in that you can play cards from your graveyard, lands from your graveyard, but you can also play an additional land each turn, and each land you play has a landfall trigger of milling a card, so you can quickly dig to your Wasteland if you don't have it in your graveyard yet, and then you just waste lock them, and imagine being able to waste your opponent twice a turn. That's what Icetail Explorer is offering. We also have Undermountain Adventurer, just uncounterably introducing the initiative. Seems pretty strong here. We've got 3 Endurances, so we don't die to graveyard strategies. We've got 4 Orcish Bowmasters, so we can go over the top of One Ring. And we have 3 Abrupt Decays, which can't be countered even under Nether Void. And then we're playing Chalice of the Void. So Chalice is really strong right now against half the decks. Half the decks is really bad against, so we'll just board it out in those bad matchups. We've got a ton of mana. The deck is half mana, essentially, between the Petals and the Elvish Spirit Guides. We're not playing Moxen. We're not playing City of Traders. We're just doing Ancient Tomb, the best soul land. But we do have 4 Wastelands in here. So the mana is going to be an issue. It should be fun to see whether we can make it work. Everything taps for green aside from the Wastelands and the Ancient Tombs. But we don't have a basic swamp in the deck. We just have 1 basic that we can go get off Undermountain Adventurer. Because I found a lot of situations in my playtesting, I really do need black mana to be able to cast Bowmasters or Nether Void or Abrupt Decay, and I don't want to have too many basic forests in the deck. Sideboard has Baragorgis for the Stompy matchups. We've got 3 Dismembers. We have Collector Oof, very strong right now. We've got some Force of Vigors, and we've got some Disruptor Flute. So just anti-combo stuff, anti-One Ring deck stuff. Let's dive into it. Round 1, we're up against an unknown opponent on the draw. We do have a turn 2 Nether Void. That's all this hand does, but it does have double Wasteland. So I figured we could Surveil, and then we could cast it with a Wasteland out and see if they Daze it or Force it. I think I'm going to try it. This also has the ability to go for Nether Void again, although it will be a few turns later. Okay, Island Strategy, Ponder. Now, this could be a control deck with Force of Will. I mean, it almost certainly has Force of Will in it. That is so cool. It's like a starship descending into like some sort of storm on a giant planet. That is a cool looking island for the new set. Soul Land gives us Nether Void this turn. Okay. I think we just chill. I don't want to play at the Petal and spook them. I'm just going to play this out. I think there's a very high likelihood that this Nether Void gets forced, but if it doesn't get forced, it will be very powerful because it'll take them a while to get to that many lands. Okay, they're on a basic land strategy, unfortunately, which means these Wastelands are not going to do very much. All right, Baleful Strix. That is a good card. It's not super impactful against our deck because we have Bowmasters and we can just get Bowmasters out. I don't see myself taking 19 off of this thing. I'm going to go ahead. I mean, if they have back to basics, it's pretty backbreaking. Also, yeah, well, let's just hope that this Nether Void resolves and we have some time to draw into good stuff. Frenzied Baloth, I am definitely keeping that combos. Unfortunately, we can't play it right now, I don't think. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm not going to play the Wasteland yet. I am going to go for the Nether Void. I don't think they play Daze. They certainly could play it. But generally, like basic land strategies don't play Daze because they can't play Wasteland. I'm going to go ahead and get a Bayou. And we're going to see if we can resolve this. And if we don't, at least we'll probably get to attack them next turn with Frenzied Baloth, because they're probably going to attack with Baleful Strix. This is the force, I'm sure. If it's not, then we are so in. I've never actually resolved this since I was a little kid, basically. I had one of these. It's a very rare, expensive card. My opponent said, "Holy, you are cooking." But you are cooking cute is the first thing you say after you spend 0 mana to force the spell that your opponent just spent 2 cards and 2 other mana to cast. So it's going to be a 3-for-1 if they counter this here. Oh, it's in. Okay. So they can Kaito us and destroy us right now if they have Kaito. That'll suck. Because Kaito is not a cast spell. Okay. Yeah. I didn't think about Kaito. We're dead if they have Kaito. I mean, we're not necessarily dead because we can actually just Frenzied Baloth kill Kaito. We can't kill Kaito. Yeah, they do have Kaito. I am going to hit Kaito pretty hard. They still don't have any freaking Wasteland targets. This is not the matchup for us. They're not going to be able to replay their thing immediately. They've been a Fatal Push. Abrupt Decay, unfortunately, does not hit that. I am going to play out the Wasteland, even though we can't do anything with it. Let's go green, green, Baloth. Okay, this can't be countered. We still have to say we're not going to pay it. All right, let's take a bite out of Kaito here. So they can stun for 2 turns and plus, but eventually he will get low enough in loyalty that we will kill him, assuming they don't have more lands, which is a big assumption. They've got 8 cards in their hand. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to draw right out of our Nether Void, and our Nether Void isn't going to matter. They've actually got Fatal Push up right now. They've been to Fatal Push earlier. So if they just fail it, Fatal Push us, it's catastrophic. This is like basically the worst deck we could have queued into, other than like maybe like Jeskai Control or something like that. And this is a 2-drop, so they can just, yeah, I'm sure they've got push. Okay, they're going to Thoughtseize. That's great actually for us because that means we get to kill Kaito. Okay. You're welcome to Thoughtseize and do some damage to yourself. You're probably going to take the Abrupt Decay. Enchant World means you can only have one of them out. It's a really, I think it is only in Legends, so there are only a few cards, and this is the only good card that's in Enchant World. So this is just dead in our hand, basically. Interesting that they chose to just let Kaito go, but that works out well for us. I mean, I don't have hope for this game just because our opponent has already gotten out of our Nether Void. Like, they may have more land drops, and our Wastelands are just rotting here doing nothing. It's extremely rare that you play against a deck in Legacy that doesn't have any non-basics. And there they go. Now they can recast their dude. We can't attack anymore because I do want to keep this around in case we find one of our dudes, but like, why? They're not going to cast their dude? That's weird. They must have Bowmaster. And we just continue to break, unfortunately. So if I play this out, they know what's in my hand. I'm pretty sure they have a Bowmaster. I'm just going to come in. I've got so much mana that it's not really that big of a deal. Like I can cast stuff later. It's just really embarrassing that Nether Void resolves and then we get nothing out of it. Yeah, here comes the Bowmaster. So they are going to take some damage from this. We'll clear one of their creatures. We could draw another one. Yeah, look at all those basics. Oh, Shadow's Edict. Yeah, that works. Not as bad as Bowmaster because they don't have a threat on the table, but still pretty bad for us. Looks like they're playing something very similar to my blue-black list. I mean, it includes all the... It doesn't have Shadow's Edict main deck, but it has all those other cards. I am going to waste them off this just in case they have like Baragoi or something. We finally get a Wasteland target. Yeah, here comes the Hard Baleful Strix. I'm not going to concede quite yet, but this... I think this is structurally just an extremely bad matchup for us. I mean, I'm probably just going to take the Wastelands out completely. Like, they just don't do anything in this matchup. They may have 2 non-basics in their deck. They may have like a... oh, that's a good card. If we could cast it. If we could cast it. So maybe One more land and we can cast it? Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. But they're not doing anything over there. I'm just not going to hit this. I don't know if they're playing the main deck Baragorths. I don't play the main deck. I play my own in the board. Yeah, they just had another land. The reason I play them in the board, by the way, is because if you play against Blue Like Tempo, Blue Like Reanimator, they'll just Thoughtseize your Baragorth, and then they reanimate your Baragorth, and the game's over. Okay, this is a 3-drop. This is a Baragorth. Okay, and I guess maybe they have a Kaito too. If they drew a second Kaito, that's probably game as well. Okay, yeah, I'm done. Okay, that was Yuriko, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare of a matchup. I'll be stunned if we can win. Baragorth does come in. We're just going to try to beat an aggro deck, even though our deck's not designed to be that. I'll take out the Nether Voids. It's not worth it. I'm going to take out the Wastelands. We have plenty of lands without those, and they don't do anything here. Chalice still does stuff. So we can bring in these Dismembers. Just costly, but 1-for-1s. Yeah, I mean, like, these cards are really embarrassing against a basic mana, a basic land mana base. Undermountain, Ice Tail is like an atrocious card. I think we actually take a couple of these out and bring in Collector Oofs. Does that even matter? Are they going to have any sort of anti-graveyard? We just want to have creatures. I think Baragorth could outclass what they're doing. They actually don't have that many 1-drops. Like, they probably only have like 16 1-drops. Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Ponder, and Brainstorm. So Chalice isn't nearly as impactful against them as it would be against like most decks. Yeah, I don't think Collector Roof does anything. I just don't want to bring it in. I guess this Ice Tail can like block a little more effectively. It's bigger. Yeah, let's run it like this. Again, I'll be stunned if we get even a single game on this opponent. So this is the Baragorth hand. I'm just going to keep it. Like this. This is how we win. And also they probably have Back to Basics in their deck, and not a lot I can do about that. I'm going to play this out. And then I Surveil. Ornithopter, yeah. This is like kind of janky ninjas, is what I like to call it, because these cards suck, and I refuse to play cards that suck. I've tried it. It just doesn't, it's not me. Now, you could say that, but like, you're playing Nethergoyf, or you're playing Nether Void, you know? Yes, I am playing some cards that suck here, but it's like it's kind of a combo thing. This is not good enough. Yeah, we don't want to be doing damage to ourselves against the aggro deck. Just not enough stuff that we can board out, huh? Put this in our graveyard. They could be playing Daze. Like, the deck shouldn't be playing Daze, but it does sometimes play Daze. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. I do think we just get on the table with Baragorth here. Do we want to get the Forest out just in case they do lock us down somehow? So we have one more mana. I think I am going to get it out. Yeah, just in case they have some sort of non-basic tech. It's our only forest, but we do have another source in our hand. This is not particularly big or scary, but it will get bigger. And the important thing is it mills and it has Death Touch and stuff. So if they can't get Kaito in this turn, but they could get something else. It'll be annoying if they get Daze because their deck doesn't even play Wasteland. And my rule is you don't play Daze in decks that don't have Wasteland. Unless you're playing like exactly like Cephalid Breakfast or Doomsday or something. Okay. They're going to fetch Island. Then they can fetch a Swamp, and now they can Yuriko us. So Baragorth will be bigger next turn when we play him. And Yuriko seems really sweet, but then you realize, oh, Yuriko doesn't have any evasion at all. Yeah. So we'll see how much damage we take off the luck here. They reveal the Ponder, okay. And they replay their Ornithopter. So now they can Kaito. I'm just going to play this out, and we're going to go ahead and try to play another one of these. Kaito can lock it down, but I'm just going to keep dropping Baragorths. These are 4/5 now. If they daze here, they're not going to be able to Kaito, but they will get another clean crack with Yuriko. They're thinking like they have a force. Oh, they have a daze. Of course. Like, sorry. I think this deck that they're playing, like I know they said sweet deck and stuff, and I don't want to trash their deck too much, but like it's just not like really great deck building, like having daze in a deck that doesn't have. But I guess maybe I'm wrong because it is pressuring me. So do they have another ninja here? They don't. Okay, that's great for us. Force negation. They ponder. And they may be able to find a fatal push here. We're definitely not in a good position. They've drawn a lot of cards. They've already gotten 2 cards off of Yuriko. So we have the option of going ahead and going for the endurance to surprise. But they're going to know something's up. Did they see endurance last game? I don't think they did. But the benefit of that is it's going to eat the fatal push, and then we Baragorf, and then we recover. And if they have Kaito here, they can stun after combat, but we will clear the Yuriko. They have they have the ability to ninjutsu Kaito and then stun. Okay, they're fetching again. I think they do have another ninja in hand, which makes this working all the more important. They brainstorm. Emergency brainstorm. This means that we're not going to get ninjutsu'd, at least, even if they force this. So we're just going to lose. Oh, they could be putting something costly on top. They find another force. Okay, so we're probably dead. They got to stack their deck, so they could put like something else, like big mana value on top. Okay, it was a Bowmaster. That's not good. And here they Thoughtseize, and they take our remaining stuff. Yeah, this has just been a total thrashing. There's our Baragorf. So we're punished for not having played it out. Now we start to draw the mediocre cards. They know that we have an endurance. If I play it out now, they can't counter it, probably. They're not going to attack into an open endurance. And then what I can do is I can just pay a ton of life. I'm hoping to stop them from attacking here, but I think they likely will still attack unless they have exactly fatal push. But I do need to pay a ton of life to dismember this if they are able to clear this. Okay, and now what I can do is we can start turning the tide here. Ornithopter can attack, and yeah, I just need to chill and dismember. And then Undermount Adventurer next turn. Hopefully they don't have a Thoughtseize. But this way, at least I'm not paying life to dismember. They're probably going to go ahead and put in the Bowmaster here. Yeah. So now they could potentially ninjutsu off one of these bodies. I'm trying to think about whether I want to go ahead and kill. If I kill Ornithopter, Ornithopter can be used. Well, I have endurance. I think the safest thing to do is just go ahead and kill Yuriko right now while they are likely not able to interact. They force of negation. Of course, they have everything. My goodness. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be tilted. Like, this is just like an absolute unmitigated disaster. Do they have something else? Are they going to be able to attack in? They don't. Okay. So, unfortunately, they can go so wide that I'm terrified about giving them the initiative here. Best draw would be, obviously, Baragorf. That's a pretty good draw. So I could attack in and then confuse them as to... There's no way that attacking in makes sense. I think... But... Yeah, I think I just wait. And maybe they clear this and then I endurance and then I get to eat a snack again. Yeah. I mean, we're getting some insane rips considering how much air there is in our deck. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And I do ideally want one more land. I'll just put that back. I don't think it matters. They do have like Murderous Cut in their deck. Okay, so if Icehill Explorer resolves, it's pretty good because we can get a lot more lands. And it's a creature. Grab this Bayou. Green. green, green. All green for you. This is the first time I've ever cast this. Okay, and now we can immediately put a land out here. We've got 2 more. So that mills. And we can play this. Yeah, that mills. They don't have any Wasteland targets yet. So we have exactly 1 Bayou left in the deck. I'm just going to chill. These don't have reach. Next turn, we can play Undermountain Adventurer, get the initiative, and just hide, like, turtle up, basically. If they have another Bowmaster, it's pretty bad. Okay, Chalice. I do want a Chalice here. Do I want a Chalice for 2? That shuts off Bowmasters. I think Chalicing for 1 is probably the best thing to do here. This shuts off Fatal Push. And Brainstorm and Ponder. They're fetching. They're using Sewers, which actually, like, I can fetch and I can trigger land still and landfall, and maybe I can find a Wasteland for that. They kept their top card. I don't believe they have an answer to this. I'm going to go ahead and fetch now. Bayou. That triggers. Do we get a Wasteland? No. I'm going to play an Ancient Tomb. I don't intend to tap it, but I do need it as a mana source. And now we can play Undermountain Adventurer without having to... We can just pay for days if we need to. Okay, no lands. We'll just pass. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to be patient. This does have Vigilance, so I can attack with this. They're going to need to get rid of something. They do have the mana to potentially Murderous Cut something and then attack. We just got it. Holy cow. I can't believe we survived. Our deck was so kind to us. I think we just keep everything the same. I'll be stunned if we can win this. I'll be absolutely stunned. But like being able to dismember and not pay any life was pretty nice there. This is basically the nightmare matchup right off the bat. I know I've said that, but I face ninjas like once every month maybe, and I play like maybe 5 leagues a week or something like that. 6 leagues a week, maybe more. I never face ninjas. So that we would queue into such a respectful deck in the sense that it has, you know, so many basics and stuff. And it's like really respecting the meta and not doing degenerate things like us. like half the meta right now is combo. This is a snap keep. I'm going to go in with Frenzied Baloth here. I would love to draw like something that accelerates. Dismember's a great rip. Man, these cards are great. So I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to, I'll Misty. Or I could potentially Dismember if necessary. They're fetching, they're just going to Surveil probably. That's fine. Earlier I was saying, oh, we might be able to mill to Wasteland, but I actually took all the Wastelands out of my deck. Okay. Baleful Strix, not my favorite. Do we Dismember that? It's very costly, but then it clears path for Frenzied Baloth if we succeed. And if we don't, we could just Abrupt Decay it, and then we dodge days. But if we Dismember and we get Frenzied Baloth on the table, we're tempoing. It's guaranteed to get through if we Abrupt Decay. I mean, my instinct is just start attacking. Attack, attack, attack. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to be patient here. Elvish Spirit Guide. Now we could Dismember around days. I should have Surveilled there. That was dumb. Yeah. I'm going to Dismember, not being ginger at all with my life total here. I'm going to go get a Bayou. Go green. Exile this creature from your hand. Baloth. Now the ninja plan is off, and we're hitting him in the face for 3. And our Barragoyf, assuming they can't remove this, our Barragoyf will be uncounterable next turn, which will be a big deal considering they countered 2 of our Barragoyfs last game. Please don't kill it. Okay, I'm actually going to go for Ice Till. Okay, and now I can play this out. Triggers. I do think we swing here. We don't have any more land drops. This can get the Surveil land. And if they have Bowmaster, it's okay. It will just trade with it. They do have Bowmaster. That's fine. I have a blocker, and we're going to kill one of their creatures here. This was probably unavoidable. Like, if we had more mana, we could have decayed here. They take 2. Our creatures are counterable again, but they are unlikely to be able to daze them. They would need to get a fetch to turn on Fatal Push to kill this. They could also Murderous Cut. They do have the mana. Ingenious Infiltrator. Okay. That cannot be decayed, unfortunately. All right, let's go Surveil. Mortuary. So that triggers the mill. I still want that for sure. That's pretty good. Oh no, I'm going to mill it anyway. I might as well, yeah, that sucks. I stacked those wrong. Oh, I would have milled the other one. Oh, it's so catastrophic. There's no way to predict that. That would have been good though, for sure. So we have second Ice Till, which doesn't really do anything other than just get our shields up more. I think we do want to go to Berry Town here. That is a Steely Dan reference. I'm going to just go get all our lands out. That's going to mill again. I mean, the good news is this is putting lots of types in our graveyard for Berry. I have to take some more damage. I think we just double Berry here. Yeah, we're doing so much damage to ourselves. But they don't have a flyer. Baragorf. It's forced. Black. Baragorf. Okay, it's in. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to be patient. Baragorf is going to get it done very quickly. They need their Murderous Cut and or they could just play out a Kaito from hand. Mockingbird copying. Okay, I'll definitely Abrupt Decay that. I'm not going to let that stand. Land drop. Straw. Bowmasters is quite good. So I think I just want to start Bowmastering here. We got so lucky this game. It's not even funny. I'm going to play this from Graveyard. The triggers. What do we put in the yard? An Ancient Tomb. We can play that Ancient Tomb. In case we need mana. This is, yeah, I'll play this out. We'll get another trigger. There's a Baloth. I'm just going to, I think they're probably going to concede when I do this. And if for some reason they remove it, then I can also just play another Ice Till. Okay, so we get the ability. Yes, let's do it. Another Baragorf. Okay, and that's the scoop. I can't believe we won that. All right, let's go to the next round. That was insane. All right, round 2. We're up against somebody who only plays degenerate decks, like big mana decks or combo decks, and not like traditional fair decks. I think if they're on Oops, we need endurance. They do play Oops a lot. We've got to turn to Nether Void here. So I think we keep this. And if we show them the pedal, that's going to show them something weird's up. But at the same time, if they like twist our hand away or something, I'm going to be sad that I didn't play the pedal out. So now we have Surveil land. And the next turn, we're just going to go for the Nether Void. But if they're a big mana deck, that may not be good enough. Okay. Restandard opening here. Let's go ahead and Surveil. Don't stifle me. If you do, it's not that big a deal, actually. But don't need another Ancient Tomb. That was a good Surveil. Now, our opponent's like, what the heck are you playing? Yeah, nobody's playing this deck. To my knowledge, I'm the only person who's ever been mad lad enough to play this. They may... What are they doing? Crop rotation? Oh, landslide. Okay, they're on the big mana deck. Snow-covered island. They could definitely have a force here. If they don't, I think we get pretty far ahead. Abrupt Decay is a nice rip. All right, let's go into the void. which is has an amazing bass line. If you ever heard that song, 9 Inch Nails, Into the Void. It's just like a really simple bass line, but it's super funky. All right. Next turn, Frenzied Baloth comes out. You're playing 1 land per turn. We're going to be playing 1 Wasteland per turn soon, hopefully. I don't think Chalice is where we want to be here. Green, green. Nether Void. I will not pay. Okay, we're in. There is nothing you can do, friend. You are getting comboed in a very novel way. Do you have any 0 drops you'd like to cast? 1 blue mana, sure. Just nothing? Okay. Let's start the bloodletting here. What I can do is I can just end step this endurance. Double the clock. They don't have a land. Love it. Green. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, against big mana decks. I mean, this is the deck they were playing before, which is like blue-green, which is similar, but there's no green. So it's possible they're playing this, but like they just played a bunch of snow lands. And in fact, I don't see any recent decks that they've been playing that fit the description of the deck that they're on right now in terms of blue-green with, I think they're probably just on some sort of Beanstalk control build or, no, they're on Omniscience. Omniscience. That's got to be it because Omniscience plays those cards. So what do we do against Omniscience? I think we bring in Disruptor Flute because that can lock down Abrupt Decay still plays because it deals with carpet. I think Ice Till Explorer is less good because they're not going to be casting wastable stuff. It's worth noting that if we get Leyline of the Void out, or Nether Void again, that is going to stop their Omniscience plays. Endurance doesn't do anything against them, I don't think. But it is something that is easier to cast. Like Beargoyf, Endurance probably kills them about as fast as Beargoyf does. Because it can come down faster and start hitting. Getting the initiative is really good against them because I don't think they have any creatures other than like Emrakul. Bowmasters is really good. So what else are we going to cut? I think we cut a second Ice Till. Yeah, and we've got a lot of mana though. I think most of our deck is functionally like not very good against their deck. I'll see if I can explosively introduce the initiative. Chalice on 1 will be good. Okay, so this doesn't do anything. This is a mulligan. Like getting an endurance into play is not good enough in my opinion. This is a Frenzied Baloth turn 1, which gets the clock going. I like it. Put back the Tomb. No, do I even care about Tomb? I mean, it's off-color mana, and we have Abrupt Decay, which, I mean, we may not even cast. Yeah, I'm going to keep, and I'm going to put back the Tomb. I mean, it's possible that we Frenzied Baloth turn 1, and we do need a burst of mana to get like a turn 3 Nether Void. I don't think our life total matters. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the Wooded Foothills back. Okay. They're surveilling. Yeah, I feel very confident they're on Omni. All right, that's not bad. So let's go ahead and get green here. Let's cast this Petal. Green. Green. Flip Delver. Heading at your face. Uncounterably. Then next turn, we'll be hitting for 6. I will be stunned. Oh yeah, they're not going to have... I said like, oh, in case I bring in Carpet. I'm not playing Islands. Carpet doesn't matter. I don't think this does anything in the matchup. I think it's literally dead. Archive. So they're playing white. I mean, it could be that they have like Teferi or something in there. I think we... I mean, if they are low in land, it is worth wasting them. They're drawing 1 land per turn. I'm going to waste them off white. I think that's probably the most powerful color they have here. And then next turn, I'll get the second Baloth out. If I can mana screw them while I'm hitting them for 3 each turn, I think that's good. Okay, they got the fetch. That's fine. So next turn, if they have another land, they could show and tell us. I'm just going to do the same thing. I know it sucks because you want to be doing other stuff. You want to get this out and then be like hitting them for 6 and wasting them, but like keeping them off show and tell is a very important strategy here. And I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Yeah, and wow, those Wastelands were sick top decks. Okay, and now they're putting out the bad cards. So this is probably the last land of their hand. Not for sure. I will still waste them if I draw one. Yeah, I'll just hold this Spirit Guide. I could use the Spirit Guide, Frenzied Baloth, and then also have a Surveil. I think that's fine actually because I can cast whatever I draw. And they're dead in 2 swings. My opponent's probably like, what the heck am I playing against? That's what I love to inspire. I don't know because they haven't communicated. A lot of people just ignore chat. But I like to think that they're like, what am I playing against? What the heck is this? Maybe they're telling some war stories with their friends at their LGS. Like, yeah, and then all of a sudden, freaking Fanatic or Frenzied Baloth came out. Okay, here's freaking show and tell. So we lose. Oh, Charlotte's Agent. Interesting. Yeah, so these Abrupt Decays are going to be good. So they're... What card? Oh, up the Beanstalk? That's it? Okay, sure. Does not keep you alive. They're forcing their own Charlotte's Agent to draw a card. That's desperation right there. Now, even one of these kills them. 2 life. What are they doing? Are they forcing They're forcing their force on their thing. That is pretty crazy. I have to give my opponent credit for tenacity. All right. Well, I am not going to hold back. I am going to attack. If you have like a Solitude or something, that would be good here. But it will not be enough. You have... yeah. I like that card. I am going to go ahead and just decay this, though. So even if they have Solitude, it's not going to be enough. Green, black, Abrupt Decay. They do have a Solitude. So they trigger this. They're going to be able to get rid of one of our dudes. So I was correct in what they had. If they find a second one, yeah, they don't. All right. Wow. I didn't even really understand what they were playing. That was pretty awesome. And we had the Nether Void to follow up, but I was just like, if we can kill him, let's just kill him. We're 2-0 going into round 3. These have been fun. The first one was freaking nail biter. The second one was fun. All right. Round 3, we're up against fellow fair gamer Cutter Slade. On the play, we have a turn 1 Baloth hand. I think we go for this. We can hold this up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go for this. If they're on like blue-black tempo, they may have like a Fatal Push or something. They frequently play that. But I'm not going to throw back a hand that turn 1 Frenzied Baloth and has tons of backup mana in case we draw one of our... I think we have like 12 big mana cards. We have 11. We have the 4 Ice Till Explorers, the 4 Initiative dudes under our... and then we have... Yeah... the actual Nether Void itself. So I could just hold these Elvish Spirit Guides in hand for surprise value later and use the Petal now. I think that's fine. Let's go green, green, Baloth. We'll give Cutter a minute to read all the text on this magnificent card. Definitely one of the most fire design cards I've seen in a while. There's another one in the new set that is just like extremely undercosted. It's a 2-1 for 1 white mana where you like exile, your opponent exiles a card from their hand and it costs more to cast that. Or if it's a land, they have to, so they're on Plow? What is this? Tommy's fine. I can just decay her. I think I will. Endurance is great. We could just eat Tommy in combat and we save our decay. I like that. It's uncounterable. Yeah, I won't get the Surveil, but it'll be okay. So if they have a Brainstorm here, they can still save her, but we'll just Abrupt Decay her. All right, we're in. Let's go ahead and hit their graveyard. They're brainstorming, of course. They had it. So, I mean, we can just kill her in combat and save the Abrupt Decay. It takes 1 turn off the clock. I think that's probably the play. Just, yeah, because even if they plus her, she's going to take 4 here. unless they have exactly Fatal Push. If they have Fatal Push, I will just decay her. Draw a land. We could just play out the Elvish Spirit Guide as an attacker. Like a 2/2 for 3 mana that has this powerful ability. This is definitely one of the better old cards. Okay, they're going to Fatal Push us. Oh, yeah, that's fine. They could have Snuff Out. I don't think they're playing that, but their deck building sensibilities are very similar to mine. Okay, I mean, I think we just attack her and save these for later. And these get debuffed, of course, but damage can't be prevented. So she is going to necessarily die. So they save themselves 6 life by flipping her, which is substantial. They do have a Murktide that they could potentially cast here, which would be annoying. That escapes the gravity well of Abrupt Decay. But, okay, that's fine. That's not Murk, but this does put the card in the graveyard for Murk if they need it. Okay. All right, let's draw like something good. I will play out this Tomb. I'm going to go ahead and come in. If they have something, I can just uncounterably kill it. Like if they have a Bowmasters, I can just kill one of the dudes. Yeah, I think they're Bowmastering here. I'll let them ping. They're going to ping this, and then I'll just decay the dude that they're going to block with. So they still get a lot of value here. I'll wait till they block, because after I clear this, they're going to take the 3 trample damage anyway. That is the beauty of trample. So now we're tapped out of Abrupt Decay for the turn. They take 6. Yeah, we go to Abrupt Decay for next turn, but I am worried about Murk. Okay, they're cluing. That's great for us. They have Fatal Push that does slow us down. Yeah, they do. Okay, so I'll just be attacking with Endurance here. Don't have another Fatal Push. The Tamio was so powerful. It saved them 6 life, and it replaced itself. Pondering here. That's fine. I would love to find another Endurance to clean this up before Murk arrives. I probably just play out Spirit Guide as an attacker here. If they shuffle, that means, yeah, they probably found Murk. I think that's the only thing you keep here. They're attacking. That's fine. They definitely, I mean, they're just going to take 3. Okay. If we draw another dude that's uncounterable, we can just win now. We don't. This is a Surveil, though. I'll play it out. I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug, and then they're at 3, and I am going to play out this Elvish Spirit Guide. The cost of 2 life. So we either have Surveil or we have Abrupt Decay. If they Kaito here, it's not good enough. Well, actually, if they attack with Orcish Bowmaster and like pre-combat, I'm going to assume they probably have Kaito. They are forcing my Elvish Spirit Guide, pitching a Daze. They must have Mark coming down. That's the only thing that makes sense here. So I'm going to not want to cast this Abrupt Decay. I'm going to want to Surveil. If they attack with this, then they are attacking. I don't want to get Kaito'd. This could absolutely be a trap, but it's not. The cost is not that big because I can't deal with a Murktide anyway. So it took 2 Abrupt Decays to undo the damage that this Bowmaster did to us, even though we're not a Brainstorm deck. Now they'll just slow play Kaito and tap. That's what I hope. It looks like it's actually Murk though, and we're dead. They're at 2. Oh, okay, good. All right, so they have to drop to 2 to kill this, to stun this. Now, a Bowmaster would be great, or, yeah. I think we do it now. I don't want to wait. This shuts off lots of stuff that they could do. I could wait, but they could have Hardcast Force Up. All right, now we've got so many attackers that we can just overwhelm them. Next turn. And Murktide doesn't even do it. I mean, technically, Kaito could stun this and Murktide could come out, but it's not going to be able to do enough damage. Okay, that's good for them, for sure. And I don't regret casting the first Bowmasters, but yeah, we did do that. And now they can plus Kaito. They can attack. Oh my goodness, are we going to lose this? They're plussing Kaito. So this means that they can restun this. They're attacking. I'm going to take the damage. If I can find another Bowmaster, we just ping them and they die. Okay, this is a Surveil trigger. I'm just going to chill. I may need to actually block Kaito this time. Yeah, this game is it's so close. And I definitely hear people who are like, why did you cast your first Bowmaster? Like when somebody's completely tapped out, they have one fewer card, one fewer answer to it. I felt like there were fewer things that could screw us. Now they can just attack and maybe not even stun. They could probably surveil because they're going to have a blocker. Oh, they just flip her. That sucks. That really sucks. Tomio is wrecking us this game. So really like the one thing we could draw here, we can't even draw the Baloth to win now. We just need to have exactly Bowmaster. They can't force it because they're at 1. They have a Wasteland. So now they can cast force. Okay, they're going to go ahead and minus here. They're going to plus here. They should attack. They'll just attack with this. They're attacking with everything. Well, if I find a Bowmaster, they're dead anyway. I'm going to see what I'm going to draw real quick. This Wasteland does actually represent them being able to keep me off 4 drops. Oh, that goes in the yard. I mean, this is 4 damage. 5, 6. If we trade here, I mean, they could have Kaito in hand. And Kaito swap. That would make actually a lot of sense if they had Kaito in hand. So I don't think blocking this Kaito is correct. I'm going to go ahead and block here. I think they are going to Kaito. Re-Kaito off this token. No? Okay. See if we can make a big draw here. That is a big draw. Green, green, colorless. Endurance. Again, while they can't force, I think that's important. Now they can't murk us. They don't have the loyalty to stun. They don't have anything to get back with Tomio. They need another body to add to the board. That's pretty freaking good. And yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. Are we dead? We're dead. Good game. That was super close. And I think our opponent played excellently, but they also had exactly what they needed the entire time, including Tomio Brainstorm combo twice. So I'm not going to beat myself about losing that one, but it did sing. I think we're kind of pre-boarded for this one with Chalice. Baloth is great. Endurance is great. Introducing the initiative is a solid plan. Ice Tail will be great. They have tons of non-basics to target. We could bring in Dismember. Baragoyf is just a really good card in general. But this is not the matchup where I bring him in, generally. They have Fatal Push. They have Brazen Borrower. They've got lots of stuff. At least with Endurance, we're getting some value. All right, so I'm going to definitely prioritize Chalice hands. I think Chalice is where we want to be here. Our opponent is probably playing 2 Brazen Borrowers. I also want to point out that they use literally every card in their hand to beat us, and they won at 1 life. That was a very close game. This hand does nothing. Let's mulligan it. This hand is slow. I don't like it. They mulled 6 as well. I want a Chalice hand. Give me a Chalice hand. This is a Chalice hand. It's not a turn 1 Chalice hand, but a turn 2 Chalice. I'm not sure how many dazes they play. I'm going to keep... We're going to put back Nether Void and Ice Tail. That way we can deal with early Tommy. And we have a Frenzied Baloth to get some damage down. Unfortunately, they're probably going to play Tommy before we get the Chalice out. That's always how these games go. But we do have Abrupt Decay to take care of her, but it's a 2-for-1 because they're already going to have the clue. Unless I just take a turn off from Chalicing. But I think it's correct because the sheer volume of 1-drops in their deck that we do want to Chalice here. Please don't Tommy me. Anything but Tommy. Or Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize would be bad too. Don't Thoughtseize me either. But obviously they have something. Like a Ponder would be a dream. I don't think they're playing Days. They could be. We didn't see any Wastelands from... Oh, that's fine. Yeah. So with this tells me they're probably on straight blue-black. So I do think it's likely that they have a Daze now. And I do want to keep this back up. But it will suck if they waste me. I think if the risk of them wasting me is so high that if they are able to stop this, that's okay. I need to keep moving. All right, Endurance is a great rip. Let's see whether this works. I would be fine if this gets forced, but I'll be upset if they Daze it. Because this is one of my rare hands that doesn't have Elvish Spirit Guide. It's in. That's great. So they do have Brazen Borrower to bounce it back to hand that they can use, effective immediately. They'll have 2 mana and Brazen Borrower, but they'll probably want to end step it. So we're looking like the scariest thing they could do is waste us. They're not wasting. That's good. Bowmaster is annoying, but Bowmaster does not stop me currently. Thoughtseize into the Chalice. Okay, they've got a Murktide, so we're going to definitely have to clear that with our Endurance. So we just have to dance around the fact that they have Murktide for the rest of the game. Best draw on our deck is mana for Endurance, but yeah, they're just binning stuff. I mean, actually, they may have just cast that to feed Nethergoyf, so they can do an extra damage. But I'm skeptical. Ice Chill is going to be pretty good here. I think we go ahead and just hit them while they can't do anything. And this gives us uncounterability on our Endurance later. That is 3 lands. Okay, so unfortunately, this means they can cast a Merc. It's not a big Merc. If they put something like a Brainstorm on the stack or a Ponder on the stack, I might have to Endurance. Harbinger. And is that the end? It's pretty bad, but it's not the end. They can attack. I can attack back. They're not going to block with Harbinger, I don't think. I have a basic forest in my deck. All right, Tomb. I'll play that out. I'm going to come in. There's no way. I shouldn't have played out that Tomb because now there's no way that they're blocking. That would be like a huge punt to block here. Yeah, I didn't think about this card because it's just like nobody plays it anymore. If they Merc here, it's a 4/4 flyer, but it is enough to brick me. They can just attack for 4. They don't win the race necessarily. I think I actually win the race if we just keep swinging back and forth. They're Mercing. I think I need to Endurance here. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm going to do it. Abrupt Decay is never going to get cast. Ice Chill won't get cast either. And now we have to deal with Barragoyf. Ice Chill could, in theory, be cast, but Abrupt Decay will never be cast because we don't have any black sources. Okay, so their graveyard is gone. They're hitting for 2, and then we're swinging back and hitting for 3. They can't Merc. They can just cast a bunch of stuff into the Void. Shield Rosedic, that's a good card. That does buff their Nethergoyf, and now we have no offensive. All right. I think the game's over. That doesn't do anything. We're going to just take 3 here. Yeah, I mean, they win because they had this in their sideboard. It hasn't been in my sideboard in a long time. Ever since they changed the rule on Urza Saga, I just don't think it's worth playing. Because it used to be you played this and you killed their Urza Saga and everything. That's not how it works anymore. Okay. I will play this out, but realistically, we're never tapping it for anything. And you might be saying, you should play more basics. Like, we're playing a 2-color deck with 8 colorless lands. We can't afford to play basics. This is just going to happen to you sometimes. Good game. All right. We are 2-1 going into round 4. Round 4, we're on the play again. I have to note, we have been on the play, I think, every game. Against an unknown opponent. I'm going to keep this because this represents like a pretty quick Nether Void and or Under Mountain Adventurer. Let's just play out this Windswept Heath and see what happens here. We need 1 more mana source to be able to power out another Void. And we'll know whether it is wise to power that out soon. If it looks like they have days, then I probably won't. I don't think they're going to have days. I think they're playing like Jeskai Control or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and surveil. And we are looking for... I mean, the best thing to find would be the Baloth. Abrupt Decay. I don't like that right now. It doesn't really impact the board. Okay. I think the simple thing to do is go ahead and... If we get Ice Till, it's so strong. I think I want to go for Ice Till. They might let it resolve, and then we waste them. I don't think they're going to have days, though. So we'll play the Petal. Green. Green. XL. Green. Please don't force this. It would set me back. Holy cow. That's so strong. Okay, we get the trigger. Waste them. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And now we can definitely deploy like Nether Void and do all that other stuff next turn. We got lucky they didn't have the force. They could still plow this, and then we don't get the lands, which would suck, but they're not doing that. It's a huge windfall for us. You should plow now if you have the plow. Plow now or forever hold your peace. They're going to go get a plains and probably plow us here. Tundra. Don't plow. Just ponder. Yeah, they have the plow. Okay. I mean, have we gone for Nether Void there? They would never catch up. Oh, that's pretty good. We still can't do anything though. So we'll just chill. Okay. Yeah. Well, we definitely need to introduce the initiative now. Nether Void no longer does it in the face of this Urza Saga. So I do need another land now. Endurance is not the worst. We can cast it. I think we just chill and we do it next turn. Brainstorm. Okay. So we withheld the fact that we have an endurance, but they're almost certainly going to force it if it's an issue for them. Gosh, to have such an explosive start ruined by a plow. Unfortunate. I am glad we got that one Wasteland off. That was a 2-for-1. Okay, there's the land. So now they get the constructs. I'm going to instep this endurance. I am going to get a Bayou. I don't think that they're going to... Oh, you know what? All this is in line with them being breakfast. And I'm kind of embarrassed I didn't realize it earlier. So we're getting this out. Just... They can create the constructs, but if we get Nether Void out, for somehow they don't interact with it, then this land does go away, and they may not be able to win. But I think there's a high likelihood they will force. Oh, wow. That's such a bad draw. Do I want to hit them? I'll just hit them. I think the game's over, unfortunately. They're just going to breakfast us. So game 2, we do have a lot of things that we can bring in. I think Undermountain Adventure is bad in this matchup because they've got so many potential blockers. Yeah, so they're going to make a dude most likely... Or they may just surveil. They are creating the construct. This will go get Shuko in a second. And I bet you they don't create a construct this turn. I'll be delighted if they do. Yeah. So we're going to get Nadu. As soon as I see the Nadu, I'll scoop. All right. We'll concede to Nadu. I don't think we're overpowering it. Cards that are helpful here. Collector Roof does shut down a lot of what they do. Really, I think just having more dismembers in, just more interaction. And then Collector Oof can come in too. Wasteland is extremely good against them. Ice Tail Explorer is great. We were unlucky in that they had that plow. I think we just take out Undermountain Adventurer. Frenzied Baloth is okay. It can do damage. Yeah, Ice Tail is definitely the best thing we can draw. Like, the way you beat this deck is you go after his jank mana base. I don't think Nether Void is... With them having access to... I don't know. Yeah, maybe actually Nether Void's fine. Chalice is great against them. We could take out the basic forest since we don't have an Undermountain to go get it. I'm going to take out one Nether Void because... No, there could be a situation where we're machine gunning their land with Wasteland and they're still able to go off. This just completely like locks down their combo. Like they could never win with this out unless they do slow Nadu stuff. Chalice is also extremely strong against them. Chalice on 1 blocks all their enablers for the combo. This is a slow card, but it does do the trick. It gets rid of Nadu. It's very hard to decide what to take out. I think I do take out another Void. Yeah, I'm going to take it out. Okay, let's take a look at this hand. This is a triple Bowmaster hand. I think we keep this and we just try to find another land. We have Elvish Spirit Guide. If we get ice, like a fetch would be great because then we just get Ice Till and we build out our mana. Yeah. Bowmaster is very good against their deck because many of their cards are X1s. The Nomad and the Cephalid Illusionist itself, which they're usually very disciplined and hold. But if they don't for some reason, we can go to town. That goes in the graveyard. Tamiyo, not fun. Give me a land, please. I will dismember Tamiyo. This does mean I can't Bowmaster anymore this turn cycle. But I didn't want them to guaranteed get a card up. You can say like Bowmaster is an answer to Tamiyo, but they can just stack those clues and wait until they have a clear shot. All right, that's perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Let's go for this. I think it's unlikely they kill us next turn, but it is certainly possible. But I want to get further into my deck. I will necessarily get this land drop. Okay. Now I'll pass. If they have exactly like Dude from hand. So yeah, I already played my land, unfortunately, so I can't get a second one. You only get 2 land drops. It would be great if it was 3. Yeah, you may only use this ability twice each turn. Okay, so if they just have like the A-B combo right now, it really sucks. But I feel like it's worth it to get on board and get stuff going. Because if they have another setup turn, we're in like a great shape. Okay, Plow. That's a 2-for-1. All right. Well, it's not a 2-for-1 because I exiled 2 Spirit Guides to do it. Okay, Tomb. I'll play that out and I'll just pass. So the scariest thing they could do would be Nadu. And the unfortunate thing is if they Nadu first, then play the dude, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. And I'm just going to get 1 trigger off this. I'd like to get multiple, but I need to hold these just in case they have the combo so I can break it up. You really want to use these reactively in this matchup. Would love to find a Wasteland here. Because it would be so embarrassing. Like we play the Bowmaster out and then they're like, okay, sure. Bowmaster resolves. And now I'll do the, yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and attempt to snipe this now. Well, there's nothing that they can put out to stop it. This also gives me an extra attacker next turn. All right, that works out great for us. I mean, it burns off. That's not a great rip. I will play it up. There's no reason to hold it. Let's come in for 5 here. And we don't have a lot of interaction here. They Nadu, that's bigger than anything we're doing over here. I mean, I could like potentially, like they block with Nadu. I mean, this is fine. I don't want to throw my last interaction spell away. I will attack with all this. This is going to trade with one of their constructs though. But I can't throw my last interaction spell away. That's also an unfortunate draw. I am going to play it out though. Let's go ahead and just come in. We got to get them dead. They're just letting it through? Okay, that's fine. They're dead next turn if they don't have the combo. But I think it's extremely likely they have the combo. They cannot cast cantrips though. They may be trying to like Nadu to find some plows. They binned the Nomad because they had that answered. So here is the Shuko. And this is probably going to be Nadu that comes down. They're making the dude. This means that it's probably actually the thing. Cephalid Illusionist. Oh, there's the land drop. Okay, now uncounterable Nadu. And unfortunately, because this lives... Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Options. We Bowmaster, and then we attack for a ton. They will definitely block this. They're not... I don't think we win anymore, is the thing. Like, I don't think this does enough. I don't think they have Nadu, though. If I drew my 4th Bowmaster, if I drew a Abrupt Decay, I've already got 2 of the 3 Abrupt Decays. If I drew another Dismember, there are lots of things I could draw that could get us through here. Not quite, because even if we clear one of these, they're still going to be able to block this, which means they're only going to drop to 3. I'm going to go ahead and do this now so I can have another attacker, though. Just in, like, I could drop Baloth or something. They're forcing that. Okay, that's fine. It's good to know about that. So they're hellbent. I'm just going to attack with just this. They could block this with both of these, and then I would choose to kill Tomio for sure if they double block. They're just letting it through. They're going to 1. Okay, do they know what's on top of their deck? Like, that's very brazen. I'll just leave this in hand for mystery. Do they draw the nuts? It's a ponder that kills them. Okay, great. They could have Veil. They could have Veil. They don't. We got lucky. All right. I like our sideboard configuration. I don't think Bear Glyph's where we want to be. Ice Toe was good there. It did get plowed. Frenzied Baloth was nowhere to be found. That should be pretty good because that shuts off most of their interaction. Let's look at this hand. This hand is a turn 1 Chalice. But we don't have any follow-up. They're mulliganing. I think we keep on the strength of turn 1 Chalice, but we may have to kill a Tomio. This is so janky, but we have so much mana in our deck. Let's keep it. There's a very good chance we draw a mana source. Half our deck is mana. And it's not like Chrome Moxing and stuff. It's like, does definitely produce mana. Yeah, and so I'm going to slaughter her for sure. It just has to be done. And then we will Chalice them. Oh, I mean, I could just Chalice now, then kill her next turn. Because that stops them. Like, if they have Force... I mean, it does give me a chance to draw another card. So, that, like, if they have Daze for some reason... Yeah, I think I'm just going to kill her. It'll suck if they have a second one. That'll really suck. If they have Daze, though, I can pay for it. I don't think they play Daze. Oh. I would like to pay for that. By Tomio. Okay. So, if they had another one, they wouldn't have Daze there. They probably would have just let it happen. And then, but they... Okay, good. All right, so we're sitting here doing nothing. Any land, and we have a Chalice. I'm glad I didn't play Chalice, though. I think this is good enough. And again, we're in a holding pattern, but they don't go after our mana at all. That's very good. That shuts off a lot of cards in their deck. Shuts off probably at least 20 cards. They have Prismatic Ending. They could potentially kill it. And that would be a 2-for-1 if they have Prismatic Ending. Okay, that is a way to work around this. Do I want to waste that? Probably not. But that is a path to... that's a great draw. Do we want to give them a turn? I mean, my instinct is to just waste this now. And then they can never go get the Shuko. And then we just surveil and find another mana source. Yeah, I'm going to do it. They could Brazen Borrower this. I don't think Breakfast plays Borrower. Yeah, we'll just pass. And again, you might be saying, but you've got so many colored mana things that you want to be casting, and I 100% hear you. But like, there's no reason to give them the construct. They have another one. Okay. So they will be able to get a Shuko. Unless we draw another Wasteland right now. So we're banning literally anything but land. That is perfect. Let's put it on top. We're going to take some damage here. I will play out... I can wait and play out Oof next turn. I'll bait with the Bowmasters this turn. Then I'll play out Oof next turn, and that will shut off the Shuko that they're going to go get. And they might clear my Bowmasters with a plow, and not realizing that Collector Oof is following shortly afterward. If we get one more mana, then we have Ice Till, and that will probably be the game. Whoa, that's a good card. Seriously good card. They don't have white mana. I am going to go ahead and do this now. Okay, it didn't bait any interaction from them, which is too bad. Another Ice Till. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I can attack for 1. I have to play this Collector Oof out. Oh yeah, they can't plow anyway, but they could Prismatic end this, but they don't have white. I'm going to go ahead and come in and see if I can just trade. I'm actually low enough that they could just beat me down. Yeah, I'm going to be at 11. That would be an embarrassing way to die. Oof comes in. Don't force this, please. This is like literally the only thing I have stopping you from going crazy with, yeah, I think, oh, no force. All right, lucky. So they can go ahead and make the dudes, and they'll have 2 3/3s. They won't be able to equip the artifact. Then we're just, once we draw Ice Till, these 3/3s won't matter. They're opting not to use that. So that tells me they may have like a Prismatic Ending or something in their hand to clear Oof so they can go off. This is Nadu. That's fine. I still think it would have been reasonable to make the dude there. Endurance stops Nadu. Come on, give me a land, please. Ah, this sucks. Yeah, I don't think we move here. If they attack in, I can Bowmaster and take some damage, but at least get rid of this construct. And just by blocking and trading and ping them. I don't want to give them Nadu triggers. If they attack in, I can attack back, but they're going to definitely win the race because I'll have to do damage to myself here. This Ice Till is burning a hole in my hand. Come on, give me a freaking land. I will go so crazy once I have a land. I will totally win this game. Okay, they're just attacking with that, which is fine. I am going to go ahead and Bowmaster and step. It does put me dead in 2 turns, though. Maybe that's not correct. What do we do? I mean, we have their combo completely managed. Their mana base is garbage. We need to find it. We just need a land. If I hold, it gives us 2 turns to find a land instead of 1. Yeah, come on. Give me that land. All right, finally. Okay, let's pay some life here, unfortunately. I gotta buy you. My cat is tapping my trackpad, which is not good. Okay, thankfully, she did not cause a fatal misclick. Green, green. Ouchie, ouchie. Ice Till. I will just go ahead and waste that cavern. We're going to need something good next turn. Well, I mean, by something good, I mean literally we need a removal spell. Remove one of their lands. So now they're going to be able to hit for 3 in the air. We can't tap this anymore. We don't have any life gain in our deck. But if we draw Dismember, we can Dismember that thing. We can also Abrupt Decay it. We have 2 Abrupt Decays in our deck. We just have to play that out. The construct doesn't matter anymore. It really just comes down to do we find Abrupt Decay or Dismember in time? They have another land. They could fetch. Okay, they're just hitting us for 2. Gosh, if I lose the Nadu in the air, it sucks. Like, we fought really hard, but yeah. All right, this has to be Endurance or Abrupt Decay. It doesn't do it. So sad. Yeah. All right, that was a frustrating loss. I feel like we were so close. We had them locked out. See you in the final round. Let's see if we can get the positive record. Round 5, we're 2-2. Losing to both Breakfast and Blue-Black Tempo. Beating Ninjas and some Cascade Beanstalk list. So, off-meta stuff. Beating the off-meta stuff, losing to the on-meta stuff. Our opponent is a likely Storm Gamer. LO1. All right, well, that final round did not happen. So we technically 3-2'd, but that's not a satisfying way to end it. Let's go do another league with the exact same 75. I'm going to run it back. I didn't notice any apparent weaknesses. I mean, Nether Void only came down like once, but it was cool. Did we win that game? I actually think we lost the game that came down. There might have been a game where it came down and we won. Let's try again. I want to get that 5th match in for you. All right. We're up against a likely Oops All Spells player. So that we're going to definitely keep this endurance hand. I don't think it's going to get there, but we're going to try. They're keeping. Okay. So this hand does have Ice Tail Explorer. It's 1 card away from greatness. It doesn't technically cast anything. I'm going to keep it though. These are good cards. We can always like waste time by just wasting them. Okay, Once Upon a Time. So this could be Eldrazi. Wasteland entered. Okay. They have an Urza Saga here. Gravedigger's Cage. Luckily, not going to affect us here. So we saw the Wasteland here. I think it's fine to just waste this Urza Saga. They almost certainly have an Ancient Tomb. Yeah, and just buy some time. Because our deck has like a lot of high curve stuff, so it definitely makes sense to like just bide our time. And Urza Saga is pretty devastating against us. Okay, this is the land that they revealed off Once Upon a Time, so this might be their only land. So we are going to lead with a fetch, and we'll pass. We can get our basic. If they tap out of that Wasteland, I'm tempted to just go ahead and Pithing Needle. Well, I'm going to go get a basic here, I think. Yeah, if they have a follow-up Wasteland, I don't want to get got by that. They could actually be needling Wasteland since they're so low on resources, which is totally fine with me if they do that. It will turn off my Ice Tail Explorer line. What do you name in the blind when somebody wastes you and then fetches this? They probably think we're on like Maverick, maybe? We could be on Critical Control. Critical Control doesn't play Wasteland. Oh, interesting. Nomad Encore. Beseiju. Luckily, Beseiju doesn't have really any targets in our deck. Oh, they could go after our Nether Void. So I am going to just have to play into this Wasteland, unfortunately. The other option, yeah, I think I get Baloth out. Start clocking them. We'll get Ice Tail later when we draw another land. Yeah, I guess I could have just played Bowmaster here. And not expose that to Wasteland. I could have just tapped the Ancient Tomb. Then they waste that, and then I'm a little closer to Ice Tail. Ice Tail is going to be absolutely lethal against them. I'd be stunned if they have a lot of non-basics. Or rather, basic lands in their deck. We're coming for 3. Please be a big mana strategy. Yes! I'm going to waste you next turn, and then I'm going to waste you every turn for the rest of the game. At least once. Now, they haven't played a land yet, so they could play a Wasteland here. They chose Thespian Stage. Oh, another Wasteland! No! Okay. All right, my greed. I probably should have done the Bowmaster play. Come on, give me a land. I don't deserve it. Yes! But we have to wait a turn because we don't want to get wasted again. Actually, we probably have to wait 2 turns. And I couldn't actually do the Bowmaster play because I didn't have black. So... yeah, this is just baiting the Wasteland, and hopefully they don't have Life from the Loam. If they have Life from the Loam, we're actually in a really bad spot. Mox Diamond. I'm worried that they have a Life from the Loam here. But if they had it, they probably would have used it by now. We can't beat a 2020. We can Time Walk with Endurance, but that's not going to be good enough. Yeah, I think the play might have been just their stage. They could copy Wasteland. Another Malevolent Rumble would be pretty devastating here. Crop rotation for, what's it called, would be bad. Is this Loam? I think we just scooped a Loam. Oh, crop rotation, that gets it, and then they make the dude. We can't end it in time. I'm just going to concede. Yep. Unfortunately, we don't have an answer to that. Okay. So now we're going to be on the play. Collect Roof. Stops some of the stuff in their deck. Beargoyf is terrible. Don't ever bring in Beargoyf in these kinds of matchups. They have like Maze of It. They've got like lots of little creatures that they get like spawns and stuff. I think Nether Void comes out. It's never going to be good in this matchup because they have a Seiju and because they can win without casting spells. I think Collector Oof definitely comes in. Force of Vigor is going to come in. Abrupt Decay can answer some stuff. I think Disruptor Flute on... Yeah, I think Disruptor Flute is probably worth playing here. Gosh, we were so close to just tilling them into Oblivion with the Ice Tail. But Bowmaster is pretty bad here. It doesn't really accomplish anything. Just puts a bunch of bodies in play. I think we cut it. I don't like the dependence on black. I'd like to not need to cast any black, but we still have the Abrupt Decay in here. We need to cut one more card. I'm not cutting my Undermount Adventurers. I think those are really good against lands. We could cut one Abrupt Decay. Disruptor Flute is way better. All right, let's do it. So now we only have 2 black spells in our entire deck. This is a turn 1 Chalice, which doesn't do anything. Chalice should have been cut. Oh, man. I should have absolutely cut Chalice. But it may not be too bad. This doesn't seem like a good hand, though. We're looking for a fast initiative creature. This is not bad at all. I think we could just Baloth into Baloth and apply pressure that way and waste them. But we need to put back one of the Wastelands. This doesn't have any answer to Life from the Loam, though, if they find it. They kept 7. I don't even know how good Frenzied Baloth is against them. I'm tempted to mull one more time. This is definitely this doesn't do anything either. We could put a Collector Oof out. I don't think that's strong enough. I'm going to mull one more time. I really am embarrassed that I kept the Chalice in. I should have done that. Okay, this has to be a keep. So we're going to keep. I'll put back a Tomb. I'll put back a Baloth. I'll put back a Petal. And I'm going to hope that they don't waste us. Man, I feel like this is a really good matchup. And those mulligans were not kind, but they were necessary. This is a great find. Okay, top. So we definitely don't want to have to Force of Vigor, but if they play out like a Mox and then like a Urza Saga or something like that, I will force. It is more important than the Frenzied Baloth, which is a pretty slow clock. Okay, that's not a Wasteland. They get Exploration into Wasteland, though. Exploration. Mox. So we let that happen. I still don't know that Tabernacle. Is this Loam? I think we just lost. I can't see how we win from here. I'll let that happen. I mean, I'm not going to draw Endurance because I'm drawing a land. So if we blow up the Mox and the Exploration, it's probably actually for the better. We do it during their upkeep. I mean, I don't think this Bailout does anything. I'm actually struggling to envision like a path forward where we can win now that this Loam is here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit this during the upkeep. Still got 3 cards in their hand. They could crop rotate with the mana if they wanted to, get rid of this Tabernacle. I think the conditions in which we win are 1, they whiff really hard on Life from Loam. What is this? And 2, then we proceed to draw a Endurance. I think that's like the exact circumstances that we need. Okay, they did not whiff. They can get back in Urza Saga. They found a second Loam, but if we are able to Endurance right now, right at this exact moment, we can get rid of both of those Loams, and then we just have to fight off this Urza Saga. I do think it's good to fetch the Thin since we're not looking for land here. I'll just grab a Bayou. No, I'll grab the Forest. This might be my only opportunity to grab one. Ice Till could also do it. We might get lucky and there it is. Holy cow, that's so freaking lucky. It's not even funny. That is so lucky. All right, bye-bye to Life from Loams. They still have lots of action here. We have a pretty beefy blocker. We have to pay every turn. Attacks from the Tabernacle. Wasteland. So this probably takes out Tomb. Oh, that takes out that. Yeah, so yeah, it's not a good situation. But at least they don't have recursion. So I will just pay here. I'm really glad I get the forest. Undermountain Adventurer will be great when we eventually find enough land. There's no point in attacking. I think we just have to hang back. Because they could attack in for a lot here. I will be stunned if we win after a Molda 4. I don't think it's likely. So here's the first construct. Second construct. Then they go get the thing. Oh, they can't afford to do it. They do get a search, though. Probably going to get Expedition Map, and then they can go get Wasteland and take out our Tomb. This construct is going to be an issue, though, because, I mean, hopefully they let it go after a turn or two. They could be getting a Mox. There's the Expedition Map. I think they're going to activate it, and they're just going to go to Wasteland for my Ancient Tomb and cut off my hope. If we draw a runner lands, we can maybe get back into this, but keep in mind, all of our lands from here on out are non-basic. They have staged, and they can go get Dark Depths, unfortunately, so we're going to lose to that. We would have to draw a Wasteland right now. That's pretty good. So I'm going to wait for them to Expedition Map, and then I'll just flash in Disruptor Flute. I think they're going to almost certainly do that in step here. And then they'll never be able to activate Thespian Stage. Actually, I believe, as this card is so screwed up, because it can like become a basic and do all this kind of stuff. Like currently, I think it's a basic land. No, it's just a land because of this. I think it actually changes its name to like Forest. It just becomes a copy of Forest or whatever it's copying. So I don't think Disruptor Flute shuts off the ability anymore. I believe that's how it works, but I'm still going to do it. Because if I Disruptor Flute now, they can just search. So I have to do it once the Disruptor Flute's on the stack, or once they've resolved the Disruptor Flute. I believe the name changes. Dark Depths, okay. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't think this works. I just want to be very clear. I don't think this is going to work. Please let it go. Okay, great. Now that that's gone, Undermountain Adventurer can win if we can get it out, which we would need another land. We need them to not draw loam. Like, we need so many things to go right, but I'm still in this game. I don't believe that this is going to stop this if they rename it by targeting something else. But if they make it a copy, it still has the ability. So yeah, they can make it like a basic plane, basic forest, and then they can activate their forest to do the same thing. I believe that is how it works. They didn't opt to play the Dark Depths out. So I guess they're probably going to do what I just described this turn. Okay, Frenzied Baloth. Not going to help us here. I could go in for a hug. I might as well. I don't think it's going to be negative. Like, they're just going to copy my forest anyway. They didn't. Maybe they don't realize. Or maybe I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that Disruptor Flute doesn't stop this anymore. Okay, Dark Depths. Wow. Right. There we go. Next turn we can not do anything. Oh, wait, actually we can pay 2 life. Oh, I didn't attack. I should have attacked. Yeah, that was a punt. It may matter, actually. So they're going to do the Thespian Stage trick on my forest. Or they're going to Sage this. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think if there's any hope here. If we could get enough. Yeah, I think the game's over. I'm not going to bore you with this. I think we just got destroyed. And that makes me not want to end the note on such like a negative thing, even though we technically got a positive record. Yeah, I want to go again. All right. Probably the final game of the day. We have a turn 2 Nether Void or a turn 2 Undermountain Adventurer. Turn 1, we can just surveil. We don't know what our opponent's on. We're on the play. I think we just surveil and then we do the turn 2 something good. So I'm going to keep this. If I think they're not a Force of Will deck and they don't do anything aggressive, then it probably makes sense to stick the Nether Void first. But actually, we don't have the dude, and we may not draw the dude. So we might be locking ourselves out as well. So I think the best thing to do is probably just Undermountain Adventurer. And then if they're able to take the initiative, we can take it right back. They're mulliganing to 5. So they're probably on combo. If they are on combo, it may make sense to just go Nether Void and just assume that they're never going to be able to draw out of Nether Void, but we will eventually draw out of it. Like if they just play like a double face card tapped or something like that. Okay, Urza Saga. Definitely don't want to play Nether Void into Urza Saga. That was a card that I didn't really think very much about when I was setting this up. Okay, they're on the big mana strategy here. So we are going to definitely go Undermountain Adventurer here. I'll Surveil. We're just trying to find a Wasteland. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I think we need to do this instead of the initiative because this gives us an extra land and it gives us a mill into a potential Wasteland. Yeah, once we find Wasteland with this out, the game is basically over. Okay, so let's Ice Till. Now let's play this out. Surveil. Ha! We found it! Do we fetch? There's no reason to. We can't play another land. I'm just going to wait. Like, as long as this doesn't die, if they have like a ton of mana and they can K command him, then we lose. But if they don't, we're just going to double waste them every turn, and that'll be pretty sweet. So please give me another turn. I think all their cards are foil. Okay, they don't have K command mana, but they could. Oh, wow, they're passing. Holy cow. This is precisely what I hoped would happen when I put this in our deck. I can just untap. This is the K command window. They're just going to exile that card. Yep, they sensed how dangerous that situation was. Okay, and they are surveilling. So I can punish this surveil by jumping in with my Bowmaster here, getting some clock on them, or I can just drop Nether Void knowing this is going to go away and they're not going to be able to make a dude. I think playing Nether Void is actually totally fine here. Okay, so you did it. You get to surveil. They bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to see if I can find the other Wasteland. It's going to buy you. Trigger. We did not get it. We get 2 more tries, right? Okay, there's a Bayou. Yeah, I think we just Nether Void here. And then that'll probably be the end of the game. Unless they draw... I mean, they could have that Planar Nexus. But it'll make all their cards so expensive that I don't think it's going to really matter. Let's see. I get an extra trigger if I go and get the Bayou now. I'll just play the Bayou out. Well, I might as well get the last Bayou out of the deck. Okay, Ancient Tomb. So if we've got lots of land we can play. We can definitely pay for Nether Void stuff next turn. We get another waste? No. This card is so freaking powerful. I'll do some damage to myself here. I shouldn't have done that, by the way. I should have Bowmastered first. That was a punt. And I took 2 damage unnecessarily. Okay, I don't think it'll matter, but it will be embarrassing if they're like able to somehow wiggle out of this. So they can go get anything. They have 1 mana floating. Could be like a Mox Opal or something like that, maybe. They still need to play 1 more artifact out to turn on Metalcraft. Okay, Candelabra is a way they could potentially do this. If they have the thing, Planar Nexus, they just have an Urza Saga. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to continue our search. I can just abrupt decay this, which doesn't get countered. That's nice. I do want to continue my search, though. I'm going to play this Bayou that I'll definitely want. Okay. Now I think I just play Ancient Tomb here. That triggers 1 more time. Okay. And we can do green. And then I'm going to... So I think I have to pay everything but... Yeah, I can do it. So I'll do like this. Undermountain Adventurer. And then I have to pay 3 mana. Okay, and it resolves. Now we get the initiative. We go get our forest. Yeah, I guess I'll get it. Now, it doesn't necessarily make sense to get it there, by the way. I'll attack here. I think the simplest thing to do is just go after this Candelabra because it represents the most mana. It's definitely the riskiest. This can't be countered. Okay. And now, even if they find a dude, they're probably not going to be able to produce enough mana. We can go even deeper into... This land is going to go away. They need the Planar Nexus now. And even then, they would only have 5 mana. Mishra's Workshop is a good card, but they don't have Metalcraft. They're creating a dude. It's fine. It's a 2/2. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'm going to yield to this. I will forge onto my Undermountain Adventurer, which has Vigilance. I'll draw. I'm just going to go ahead and play a land. Can I find a Wasteland? No? Okay, let's go ahead and play this out, I guess. It doesn't hurt. Still not finding the Wasteland. Okay. I think what we do is we just attack with this. They're not going to block. Now I can just do another one. I need a total of 7 mana. Now we're going to trap them. They're welcome to keep playing. And I think I consider that a turn. They're going to need to play a lot of stuff this turn. Playing another one. I mean, they do get a few artifacts out of this. They will get Metalcraft for the purpose of Urza's Workshop, but they won't have that Urza's land in. So they're just floating. They could get One Ring, which would be annoying. But I don't think their constructs are going to get big enough in time. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to make One Ring mana. If they do One Ring stuff, I can play out this Orcish Bowmasters the subsequent turn. Actually, I can play it out now. I just have to tap this big guy. Yeah, I have exactly enough mana. This doesn't actually get a land, by the way. Yeah, they don't have enough to cast anything but like a 1-drop here. Yeah, they scoop. Nether Void. Okay. So, we're definitely bringing in Collector Roof here. We're bringing in Disruptor Flute, and we're bringing in Force of Vigor. We've got lots of good cards for this matchup. Cards that are less important. I mean, Nether Void itself is not the worst luck piece. Baloth does present a clock and makes our stuff uncounterable. Endurance doesn't do anything. I'm just going to take it out. It's just like a beater. I mean, Nether Void was really important there. But I think the real thing was I still like threatening, like the fact that they had to use their K command in such a awkward way. I don't like Bowmasters in this matchup particularly, but it does stop One Ring. But we already have Collector Oofs to shut down One Ring. Baloth punches through, so we're definitely going to keep Baloth in just for its ability to punch through. I could see trimming the Nether Voids. I could also see Abrupt Decay just being a little mana inefficient. And it doesn't hit the One Ring, which is the scary thing. Yeah, because I mean, once they reach escape velocity, 3 mana is not that big of a deal for them. All right, this is... Oh, I should have taken out the Chalice. Ah, such a punt. This is not a good enough hand. I mean, it's 1 turn away from Undermountain. These double Chalice, I totally should have taken it out. It's terrible. I'll take it out game 3. Okay, we put this back. We've got Force of Vigor. It's not a great hand, but I'm definitely putting this Chalice back. I kind of want to put the Ancient Tomb back, though. If we Chalice for 1, it's not the worst, and we don't have anything else to do turn 1. I mean, it disables their keys. They do have some, but they can get them off Urza's Saga. I don't know. It's probably better than keeping a double Ancient Tomb hand. Because the max mana we ever need is 2 colorless. They're not going to go after our lands. They mold a 6, we mold a 6. Don't play a 1-drop. All right, so I am going to Chalice. I don't think it'll matter that much. Yeah, I'll Chalice. I mean, it has 0 negative impact on our deck. Maybe we get lucky and they like Besaju it or something and we get a land for it. That would be pretty good. So next turn we can Bowmasters, and then the subsequent turn we Baloth. And assuming we find a land, we have Ice Tail. But Ice Tail is probably going to get pitched to Force of Vigor, depending on what they play here. Petal. Are they Karning already? Yeah. And it's like weird art. Karn. Yeah. This blows this up. That's pretty embarrassing. Okay. So this is nice because we can surveil if we need to later. I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this, and I'll just pass, and we'll see what they do. They don't have the mana to lock us out yet, but they're very close. But we do have Force of Vigor. Liquid Metal Coating. They can blow up our lands, which really sucks. Grim Monolith. I'll let that happen. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and Force of Vigor now. They'll probably tap one of these, and then I can just Bowmaster in response. But yeah, and then I green mana, and then we definitely can take out Karn. I think that's the line. Okay, they're adding 3 mana. This might be a mini K command. They're doing X equals 1. That's fine. Now I'm just going to go black, colorless, Bowmasters. Ping Karn. Next turn we Baloth, and we hit Karn to dead. Even with this spawn, they can't stop it. Right, so we are fetching a Bayou here. Now I will just go ahead and green, Baloth. And since we deterministically kill Karn with, I can still attack them for 1 here. So let's attack Karn. Let's attack Karn. Let's attack you. They don't have any incentive to block here. I'm really glad they used that K command the way they did. It's one less thing we have to worry about. And now, One Ring's not going to be very good. A follow-up Karn would still be good, though. They could potentially Karn, Monolith, Nexus. Okay, no other plays. So we're going to be able to hit them for a lot here. They could have a K command in hand as their last card. It's pretty good. I'm going to hold that. I can hard cast it. Let's go ahead and come in for 5. I definitely don't think it makes sense. I mean, like, what could they have here? I'm just going to feel so bad if, like, we get rid of this and it didn't even matter. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this mana represents, like, the Ugin. I feel bad doing this, but I think it is correct. That gets them further from Metalcraft. Yeah, and we have one more creature that we can add to the fray next turn if we don't draw anything more relevant. They don't have the mana to Lattice Lock us. They do have the mana to Karn. No, they don't even have the mana to Karn plus Bridge. Another Karn. Okay. They're going to go get something. It's probably a Bridge. Yeah, and now we need the initiative to beat them. I will kill Karn here, though. I can surveil off this. So we're settling in for a very long game here. I don't think they have... Oh, is this a Dismember? Yeah, that's a good card. All right, so they're at 4. Does it make sense to play this out? Or should we keep it as a secret? Oh, they're at 2. They're at 2, but they do have a Karn. But can they gain life? Do we play this out? Next turn, they have to play it out. They have to pay 3 mana. So they will have 1 card in hand. So we can still attack here. Unless their card in hand is like a land. Like if they draw a land, if they draw anything but land, I think they're dead. They could plus on the thing to make it a blocker for the turn cycle. I have 2 Abrupt Decays in my deck. They could potentially answer this. I think they are, like, if Karn gets to live, they are going to be able to eventually get around this. They're minusing to 1. What are they getting? Because now they have more cards in their hand, and they need to deploy more cards. They can't tap that tomb. It could be they're just looking at their sideboard and they're not sure what to do because they realize that they need to get 2 cards out of their hand this turn. But they're not going to be able to stand up a blocker anymore. They got Portable Hole. They can filter white. So playing this out would have actually been a really good play. They can Portable Hole my Bowmaster here. If I Abrupt Decay that, they'd die immediately though. Because I am going to be able to attack for 1 here. Lantern. Okay. So now Bowmaster ends the game. Okay, let's go ahead and Surveil. Yeah, if I had played this out, it wouldn't have mattered because they could have gotten a card out of their hand. Wait, they didn't actually play the bridge. Oh, is that good? I think this is good enough that we want to play it, even though it doesn't immediately do stuff. It's an extremely powerful lock piece against what their deck does. So I kill Karn here, and then I play this out. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then they can hide behind bridge, but they're not going to be able to do a lot. Okay, and now let's go green, green, oof. Do we want to play this out? I don't think so. If they find like an Urza's Saga, that's really good. 3 mana, this is just the bridge. So I can still attack for 1 here, unless they have one more thing they can do. They can't activate this to draw a card. That is pretty freaking sweet. All right, let's go ahead and come in with this. And then we're going to take the initiative. And this will represent death after like 2 turns, basically. I don't think they're going to be able to get the initiative back. Get our forest here. Play our forest. And we'll pass. They have to get a card out of their hand. They have access to 3 mana. Oh, they have access to a lot of mana now. So K Command would be strong. Fleshraker is very good. They have 1 unknown in hand. They're burning that off. That's fine. All right, so let's go ahead and I do need to burn them. So I'm going to take the burn route. Forge onto our onto this thing just to make sure it can block. I mean, what could they, like, yeah, they might have like a giant construct later, and that would be good. Have that. All right, let's see. We draw another one. This just kills them instantly. Hasta lasagna, don't get any on ya. Right, -4, and that is the ball game, beating one of the most annoying decks to play against. We didn't get to play against blue-black, but we did get to play against a lot. So our losses, again, were this Lands deck, which I do feel like we had a favorable matchup. Maybe not a great matchup, but like it was definitely 50-50. We were so close to machine gunning their lands. The deck, I just don't think Nether Void is good enough, frankly. Like, it came out a few times, and it was cool, and I had fun. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun card. But like, would I spend like $800 and build this and take this to a serious tournament? $800 per card, I think. It's a pretty expensive card. Maybe it's only like 3 or 4. I don't know. So you can get a damage one for $400. Yeah, it is not a cheap card. So looking at the list, I do think there's something going on with this Frenzied Baloth. I think it's a great card. It's just, I'm still searching for the right shell. My instinct is that like this Stompy shell we're doing right now is actually pretty strong. But instead of playing black with Nether Void, this is what I'm going to try next time. All right, and here's kind of what I'm thinking. So we can take a look at red-green kind of Stompy initiative. I think this is the natural home for Frenzied Baloth. The main challenge is you do want to have access to Ancient Tomb because everything you're trying to resolve, Caves of Chaos Adventurer, Undermountain Adventurer, even Fury, they're like big mana spells, but you've got your Endurance. I mean, uncounterable Endurance and uncounterable Fury is quite strong. Broadside Bombardiers is great because it can potentially throw Fury or throw Endurance to great effect. Fury keeps you alive. Endurance keeps you alive. You keep the board clear. You tick up with your initiative creatures. I didn't want to play Chrome Mox because I did want to play 4 Collector Oof in the sideboard. And Lotus Petal, you're usually using it early on. But to like pay 2 cards for 1 mana and then like lock it off with Collector Roof doesn't feel good. I'm not sure about the mana base. This is 16 lands, Tomb plus a bunch of fetches plus 4 Taigos plus a forest. I didn't want to play City of Traders because we do want to be able to reliably hit double green, and I just don't want that many soul lands in the deck. But we get to play all the Spirit Guides. So this is really 12 fast mana spells plus 16, so that's like a total of 28 mana sources. It may not be enough, but the really cool thing is just reliably being able to Chalice on turn 1. I think that proved throughout the league to be really strong, except for the matches where I shouldn't have boarded it in, or I should have boarded it out. One thing that this does is uncounterable Magus of the Moon. If you have Frenzied Baloth out, like your opponent can't counter this, and then they may not have an answer to Magus itself. They may be relying on countering it when you cast it, and because it's a creature, it just adds to the onslaught. So a big part of what I like in my creatures is for them to be disruptive while also helping close. And these don't disrupt, but they certainly close quickly. And Fury is disruptive if we ever actually cast it, which is conceivable. We have lots of mana off of like Under Mountain Adventure tapped and stuff like that. We do get our basic forest when we get the initiative. Again, I didn't want to commit too much to basics because we are like a pretty mana heavy basis. The one thing is I'm not sure about is Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but this card is just so strong, and it also kind of throws away the chaff cards. I've never actually cast it on MTGO, so I'm excited to do that. So I think my next video is going to be exploring Frenzied Baloth in a context of this sort of action. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you had a lot of fun and learned a lot. I certainly had a blast. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.